Hey guys, welcome back to this short cooking series. The last episode we talked all about brisket, and this episode we're going to be talking about pulled pork. Just like in the brisket episode, I talked about with these longer cooks, what's really important is the cooking schedule. With pork butt, there's a cooking schedule as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put that up right now so you can take a look. And as you can see, it's going to be about an 11-hour cook from beginning to end. You'll also notice at noon you're going to be seeing something a little bit different that you're probably not used to seeing, and that's the second part of this cook being in a crock pot. So I'll explain why I do this as opposed to a wrap in the second part of the cook. We'll go ahead and explain that part later. It has to do with creating an equal distribution of flavor and texture. We'll go ahead and talk about that in a bit. Okay, so without further ado, let's get to cooking. Hey guys, so we're ready to start our pork butt, which is actually pork shoulder. I got this from Costco. It comes in a 2-pack. I'm going to be cooking both of them today. So I'm going to prep this, then I'm going to prep another one. They're both going to go on the grill at the same time. So you'll find that when you get these from Costco, it'll be cut open like this. That's because there's a bone that goes in here. Okay, this has already been removed. Sometimes you got to remove it yourself. If you got to remove it yourself, don't be intimidated by it. Just go slow and get that bone out of there. Okay, so what I'm gonna do first to get this ready, I'm not trimming this. I'm not doing any of that stuff. We can see that there's a bunch of fat on there. That's gonna make for great flavor. First thing I'm gonna do is use a binder. This is just yellow mustard, regular yellow mustard. Okay, you also notice that I've got a dirty hand and a clean hand. Clean hand here to handle this, and dirty hand here. Okay, so first we're gonna go inside. Okay, just go ahead and apply liberally and then just kind of mush it together a little bit. This isn't a perfect science. Okay, now you get some good distribution. In goes the seasoning. You want to be liberal with the seasoning. Okay, make sure it gets everywhere. That's done. Now, I like to do this so that the fat side is down because I want to go ahead and get this seasoned here, all around here first. Then when I flip this the second time, season it, it's ready to go straight onto the grill. Okay, so now we're going to apply some mustard. Again, this isn't an exact science or anything like that. Okay. Remember back when you were in elementary school, you were doing finger painting, making a mess, having fun? That's what we're doing. Okay. This is gonna be messy. It's just fine. Okay, we're gonna start with the edges. Okay. And grab, again, real liberal. The seasoning on the outside is the only place you have to season it for the meat that's on the inside. Okay. And this will be especially true for the second part of the cook. And we'll discuss at that time what makes the way that I do the second part of the cook different than most other people. Okay, so you want real good coverage. You can see, you can barely see the meat now. Got a real nice color from that seasoning. Okay, now we flip it. Same thing, mustard. Now this is all that's left. Okay. Okay, we're looking good. All right, now I'm gonna do the exact same thing to the other pork butt. Then these are gonna go on the grill. And then we're gonna discuss thermometer and temperature. So we'll be right back. Okay, so we have both of our pork butts. They're seasoned, they're ready to go on the grill. Okay, now this grill is started at smoke just to get it running, and now it's set at 250. I set both of these in. Again, I've got a dirty hand and a clean hand. Dirty hand for the meat. For the clean hand, I've got my probes. Okay, I'm gonna use this probe for both of these. This happens to take 2. And all I'm gonna do is shove that guy in just so that it's in the middle. This particular probe is a Bluetooth probe, and it's going to send me an alarm when we get to, there's a bird chirping over there. It's going to set an alarm for 165. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning right now. We're going to pull this off somewhere around 1 o'clock, and then we're going to get to the next cook. So we'll see you in a bit. All right, so we're ready to start cutting. Okay, so all I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna work on cubing this up, and you can see that this has just got juice all over the place, which is great. Okay. You can see that we've got a nice smoke ring here. This is going to be some awesome flavor. I'm going to put each one of these pork butts in their own crock pot. Okay. These are about 1-inch cubes, roughly, give or take. It's not an exact science. Size isn't critical. Oh. This is all looking real good. All still very moist, which is good because you'll find, or you'll see for yourself in just a bit, when this is done with the second cook, there will be noticeable amounts of liquid in here. That's all just rendered down fat and moisture from the meat. So you don't need to add any liquid to this. You don't need to do anything. Don't overthink it. Just get it in there. Kind of mash it down a little bit so that you got full contact with everything. Okay. I'll do the exact same thing here. Feel free to cut yourself off a little snack there too. I'm gonna let that guy cool down. And have myself a little bite. You don't have to cook 2 pork butts at the same time. I do because we go through a lot of meat in our house, and because we utilize the freezer, we parse this stuff up, utilize the freezer. These last quite a while, so I just do them both at once. In one of those Traeger 22s, there's enough room easily to cook 2 pork butts. So that's what I just go ahead and do. But if you only want to cook one, by all means cook one. Okay, and again, just kind of mush everything down a little bit there. All that juice everywhere. Now I'm making a mess with the juice. That's okay. It all cleans up pretty easy. Sometimes this stuff can be messy, that's all right. Okay, in it goes. I'm using 2 different crock pots. One's a little bit bigger than the other. So what I'll probably end up doing is the extra from one I'll just put in the other, just so that they're both filled up to the same level. Okay, these are ready to get turned on. This is going to get cooked on high. I'll set these both up on high. It'll be roughly about 5 hours. Every hour, I'm going to come in here and just toss it with a metal spoon, just to keep everything kind of moving. So every hour, turn it, push it all back down with both, and we'll see you here in about 5 hours. All right. And after several hours of being tossed in the crock pot, this is what you end up with. You can see all the rendered down juice and fat. And because it was all cubed up, it was all that stuff had a very easy time getting to the center of the meat. You can see how tender it is. No dry meat anywhere. This is exactly what you want. Every bite is going to be the exact same. So now all I'm doing is I'm taking the meat from the crock pot, basically just to strain out all the juice. All this meat's going to go right back into the crock pot, so I want the juice out. Here's the juice. Just go ahead and dispose of it. If you wanted to keep it, I'm sure you could probably turn it into some sort of a stock or whatever you wanted to. I just dispose of it. Right back into the crock pot. And I'm using a potato masher because this meat is so tender, it just mashes right up. It only takes a few minutes. Second crock pot, same thing. And this is what you end up with. Beautifully tender, not a single dry bite. Absolutely incredible. Awesome. All right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Give this recipe a try. Give this method a try. You won't regret it. Okay? The next episode, we're going to be talking about bacon. We're going to be starting from zero. We're going to be starting with pork belly. Starting from the pork belly all the way to sliced. Okay? Just as a reminder, links to all the equipment that I use can be found in the first episode. I'm going to leave a link in the show notes of this episode back to the first episode so that you have access to all the equipment that I use. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you on the next one.